All right, in this video, we're going to cover actually setting up your Facebook advertisement. Now that you have created an audience, hopefully installed your pixel, you're ready to set up your advertisement or advertising and actually had your ad created. So we're going to go down here to create, and we want to set up a conversion ad. So there's a lot of different types of advertising or goals that you can choose, or the campaign objective, right? So all online or Facebook advertisements are built on a series of three things: the campaign itself, the ad set, and then the ads. Campaign typically controls, so this is the type, this is what the goal of the ad is. You want conversions, you want website traffic, you want videos or video views. And please note that Facebook is really good at accomplishing that goal. So you want to make sure you pick the right goal for your campaign. Ad set is where your audience is controlled. This is how you control your different audiences and target different types of people. The budget can also be controlled under ad set or campaigns. It depends on how you set up your strategy. I typically will set my budget up under campaigns, and then I will turn on campaign optimization. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to run, one campaign based on a budget, and then set up multiple ad sets with different audiences. And then what Facebook's going to do is, say you give it $100 a day, it's going to allocate that $100 a day to, let's say, 2 to 3 different ad sets or 2 to 3 different audiences, and see which ones perform the best. And then it's automatically going to apply the most budget to the ad sets that perform the best. So it's a great way to split test, A/B test. You're automatically using Facebook's campaign optimization. Ads are the same way. So Facebook will then allocate the right budget to the ad that performs the best under the different ad sets. So again, let's click create, and then here's the different types. So brand awareness. So you can hover over the little info button here, and it'll tell you exactly what each campaign objective is going to do. So you want to show your ads to people that are most likely to remember them. You want to reach the most people. You want traffic to your website or a landing page. You want people to engage with your advertisement. So you want people to comment on it or like it or share it. You want people to install your app. You want people to watch a video. You want to generate leads directly through a form that pops up on Facebook or Instagram. Again, Facebook owns Instagram, so anything that you're running on Facebook is also going to run on Instagram. You want people to engage with you on Messenger, WhatsApp, or Instagram Direct. So Facebook owns, Messenger, owns WhatsApp, and then there's also Instagram Direct. You want conversions. So you want to show ads to people most likely to actually take a conversion. Now this requires the setup of the pixel, as we had talked about in a previous video. So make sure that you have your Facebook pixel set up properly if you're going to run the conversion, because you want to be able to actually track those conversions, where the ads will never know who's actually converting and they won't be able to get smarter. This is if you're selling a catalog of products that you've linked to Facebook itself, and this is actually physical visits based on the I've never run these, but I'm guessing it's based on the location of the phone. We're going to pick conversion, and we're going to name our ad so it's for a product called cell phone seat sales. And I'm going to go ahead and name the ad set because I know what I always name my ad set is my audience, right? So I'm going to name my ad set the audience I'm going to target. What I'm going to target is a lookalike audience based on my original buyers that we created in another video. So look at the video, creating custom audiences and lookalikes on Facebook. So I'm going to target, I'm going to call this cell phone seat buyers lookalike. All right, and then I'm going to name this the video, because I know the video I'm going to run. I'm going to run a video ad. Okay, so I'm going to hit continue. So the first thing we're going to do is, you can see that tier here, right? Here's the campaign, ad set, ads. So the first thing we're going to do is set up our campaign. We're not a special ad category, so if you're trying to run political ads or credit or employment or housing, social issues, you have to select this category, and it's going to really limit you on the type of audiences that you can select. So like you can't select people by job title if you're running like these types of ads. It just doesn't want you to be able to discriminate against certain types of people. We're going to leave it set to auction and conversions. I always like to click on these additional options just to make sure there's nothing in there that I want to think about or select. We're not going to set a spending limit right now because I'm going to monitor this, and I know. But if your budget is, let's say, $5,000 total, you want to go ahead and set that 5,000 so you know that you'll never cross that limit. Honestly, I mean, I have forgotten campaigns we're running for certain clients, and through a weak accounting process at the time, discovered that that an ad had been running when I got charged $900 because that was the threshold for the charge, and went back in there and turned that ad off. So that's going to allow you to never kind of have that issue in case you ever forget. If you're setting up lots of ads and lots of clients, and you don't want to forget that something's running. And we're going to do campaign budget optimization. So Facebook is basically going to automatically, to run the best audiences and ads based on our campaign budget optimization. I'm going to do a daily budget of 100. So we have tons of resources on what your budget should be. The biggest thing, and I was told a while back, like don't run anything under $25 a day. So that's going to be $750 a month, right? So if you have clients that you're running ads for, or you're running ads for yourself, make sure they understand that $750 is the minimum just for the spend on Facebook, Instagram, and probably need a lot more. And I've seen, in fact, I have examples where on my blog where when we went from $150 a day to 100, we've seen an actual, and let's say at 50 we weren't profitable, right? We were losing money because we weren't getting enough sales. We go to 100, and actually at that point it like broke through a threshold and it started getting more sales than it was costing us, and it started turning a profit. Or I had a client that at $100 a day that was underperforming, right? As soon as we bumped it to 200, it immediately started converting better, and that client became profitable. So another thing to keep in mind is, and this is another very important concept, that Facebook needs 50 conversion events within about 2 weeks to exit the learning phase, right? So Facebook's going to kind of be in learning for until it has 50 conversion events. And what that means is it's trying to figure out who to best deliver the ad to accomplish whatever the goal is, right? So a conversion event can be, let's say if you set website traffic. So if you got 50 people to your website within 2 weeks, then you've solved that. This is a little more difficult when you're trying to get people to buy a product, because you've got to sell 50 products within 2 weeks. And if you don't, Facebook's typically not going to exit the learning phase. So you got to figure out what your budget needs to be at some point to accomplish that. So the way to figure out what your budget needs to be to accomplish the 50 conversion events you need in 2 weeks, you need to understand what your actual cost per conversion is going to be when you get started. If your cost per conversion, is $10, and keep in mind you need 50, so that's going to be $500 it's going to cost you. So you need to make sure that you spend $500 within 2 weeks. So at $100 a day, you're going to do that. But at $10 a day, you're not going to do that because you're only going to spend, $140 in 2 weeks. So that's kind of the way to think about that. But you have to get started to really understand what your cost per conversion is going to be. All right, so we'll start with $100 a day and we'll go to next. Now we've jumped into the ad set. We are driving people to the website because that's where they're going to convert. Okay, so now we're actually going to choose our pixel event. I see that the cell phone seat pixel has been installed on the website, and I can actually test that with this handy Facebook pixel helper, right, in my Chrome browser. So you can download that as a Chrome extension, and then I'll visit the website, which is cellphoneseat.com. And there I can see the pixel fired. So I know that it's reporting. And if I click on that, I can actually see what pixels are on this page. And that's recording a page view. Okay, so now I want to actually select the conversion event. So I've clicked this drop down, and it's showing me all the different events. It does have the active events, but it doesn't have inactive events. So what happened is that I'm going to pick purchase. Now what it's saying is, because it hasn't actually tracked a purchase yet, since I just set up the pixel, it's going to give me this warning. But I'm going to ignore that because I know that the pixel is set up for the purchase event. All right, now I want to set our start date, which is today, and it's 1:35 p.m., which is fine. I can set an end date. So let's go ahead and set an end date for, actually, I'm not going to set an end date. Let's just keep it running. All right, now here's where we get to use our custom audiences that we created. So we want to use, one of the easiest ways is to start typing it in, if you remember the name, and it automatically brings it up here. So here's our original buyer list, right? And here's our lookalike we created from that list. And remember, this list is created off a combination of purchases we had on the website and some data we got from our Amazon sales. Now I also want to exclude people that have already purchased it. So I can exclude the actual buyer list. So now this is just, I just think this is the neatest thing, because, you know, Facebook is basically going to find all the people that are exactly like the people that have purchased cell phone seats, right? But then exclude and show ads to those people, and then exclude anyone that actually has purchased it in the past. Now we can continue to filter it by, you know, location, age, gender. We can even do detailed targeting, and this is where you can get into like Facebook's data of, you know, people that have certain job titles, or people that have certain interests, or that drive, you know, certain types of cars. Now, typically, I would not actually, if you're using a lookalike, all the data you need should be contained in the lookalike, right? So these are the people that are exactly like your buyers. So you wouldn't want to filter it by anything down here. Now, that said, I know for a fact that cell phone seats fits very well in certain types of cars. So, you know, if I wanted to, I could actually run ads showing the product in that type of car, and I could change my detailed targeting. So I know that it works very well in the Tellurides. So let's see if we can. Let me see here. See if we can find that. Let's try another one. I know it fits really well in Mustangs. So we could do people that are interested in Mustang, Ford Mustang, so employed by Ford Mustang, interested in Ford Mustang. I'm looking to see if it has like drivers, like actually drives a Ford Mustang, or owners, you know, owns. Let's see if we can do that. So the fun thing here is just to go in and just test some things out. As you can see, owns different types of phones. So if we knew we were showing ads like the iPhone, we could target people that own, you know, iPhone specifically. Let's see, owns vehicle. So it looks like I'm not able to filter it by people that own a certain type of car. I'll have to do some more research on that. One of the here's a secret that has just been a game changer for me. So if you do find somebody that matches like a specific targeting, let's say owns iPhone, right? Let's go ahead and put that in there. So owns iPhone 7, right? Now you can hit suggestions, and then it's going to find all the other people that own, you know, phones very easily. So you don't have to sit there and keep typing things in. All right, but I'm going to filter that out because it's not specific to those people. Now I am going to allow Facebook to reach, so this is targeting expansion. So this allows Facebook to go beyond your lookalike criteria to find people that it thinks will convert better when it shows the ad. So I'm going to definitely allow it to do that. I'm going to leave automatic placements in place. Or if you wanted to, let's say, only show your ads on Instagram, you could select manual, and you could go down here and like turn off all the Facebook, or turn off Messenger, right? And only run it on Instagram and Facebook. Or Audience Network is Facebook's like exterior network of websites. And you can turn off different types of ads. So it just depends on if you want to specifically target certain, you know, networks. Now I'm gonna let Facebook decide where it should put it, because Facebook is the algorithm that's gonna figure out, you know, where to put it to best deliver. I don't need to manually figure that out myself. All right, that's your ad set. So as a reminder, we set up our budget and our campaign goal, right? Conversions and our budget, $100 a day in the campaign setting here. We've set up our audience, which is our lookalike, right? In the pixel event in the ad set. Now we're going to go into the actual ad itself. So we're just going to click next. Now it's walking us into the ad. So I know this is the video that I'm going to run. You know, obviously you could also add, you know, images or carousels, whatever advertisement creative you want. And it's good to try 3 to 5 different types of ads to see which converts best. But just for the shortness of this video, I'm just going to use the shortness of this educational video. I'm going to just use my video advertisement. So the page is cell phone seat. You can also, so if you don't have an Instagram set up for your page and you want to run ads, you don't have to set up an Instagram account. Facebook's automatically going to create one that uses the same name and profile image for Instagram. But if you do have an Instagram account set up, you can link it to your page, and then you can select it for your advertisement. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. Now I'm going to create my ad. So now you're in your ad setup box right here. You're free to click on these, and you could use an existing post. There's a lot of different options, and you can play with this and see what looks best, and see if you need to change your creative. You can do a single image or video, a carousel, which is slideshow basically of different images, or a collection, a group of items that opens into a full screen mobile experience. So there's a lot of options here. Add an Instagram instant experience, play a playable source file. So feel free to experiment with these, see which ones you enjoy the most or like the best, or to get the best results. For now, I'm just going to use a single video. Now I'm going to click here to add my video. Now it probably already has the video that I want in there. Let me see if I have the recent video. Let me pause this and make sure that I have the right video. Okay, I've looked over the videos and now I know exactly which one to choose. So I'm going to click Add Media. I'm going to add a video, and this is the video I'm using. If you needed to upload one, you could click here to upload. If you had videos on your account or your pages, you could click this drop down. You could use video URL, business videos, account videos. Again, I've already uploaded this file, so I'm going to select it. It's right here, and click Next. And that's going to show you the different formats, right? You could actually crop your video if you wanted. I'm going to leave it, in that standard square. It's really good to create a vertical video these days. So 9:16, it's going to work really well on phones. So I would recommend doing that. But I'm just going to leave the defaults here, and you can actually preview the video and see what it looks like on each one of these. All right, I'm going to hit Done. And now you have your primary text, your headline, and your description. Right. So your primary text goes above the video, headline goes right below it, and then description is going to be a little subtext below that. So primary text, it's really good to, actually that's the one from my previous one. So it's you should really think about this, because this is going to be, the video is going to do its work, but Facebook doesn't really like, if you're using an image, any text on the image. You have to limit it to 20% text on your advertisement in Facebook. And we'll have some videos on creating, Facebook ads in Canva. That's going to show you how to do that. But you want to limit your text on your images. Videos are great because you can put a lot of text in them, because you're transitioning through different slides, so it gives you a lot more room to have the text. But you definitely want some nice text here that's going to target your potential market. And if you need help coming up with ad text, you could always search for examples, look at what other people are doing that are successful. There's a great book called Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller that can teach you all about using the right types of statements that's going to sell your advertisement. I also like to use bullets in some of these ads, so people can do a read more and see what it looks like. But I'm going to pause this video. I type up my primary text, and then I'll let you see it. Okay, I have gone through and created basically a bulleted type of ad. Do you throw your soul? So I'm trying to get, resonate with people. I don't want to start off with saying, hey, this is the greatest thing you've ever seen. I basically want to ask them the question, do you throw your phone in the cup holder when driving? Need a better solution? Try cell phone seat. It fits any phone, fits virtually any cup holder, doesn't block your cup holder. That's the big selling point. Easy to put in and take out. Holds phone vertical and horizontal power cord access. Warning, once you try it, you can't drive without it. So this is just kind of a funny thing that I'm trying to see if people, let me actually make that all caps. Warning, once you try it, you can't drive without it. Okay. Now you can add options. You can add different, Facebook will allow you to set up multiple primary text and see which one works better. But for now, I'm going to just try that one. Headline is going to be order yours today. And I'm going to do this. Doesn't block cup holder. It's all phones. I'm going to say, yeah. So this is going to be very short because as you'll see here in the preview, it's not, it's having struggling with my, I need to go ahead and put my website URL in there, so that's fine. Let me grab the URL. And there we go. That'll fix that error. And then let's look at the different formats here. So yeah, so click on the format and you can see exactly what your ad's going to look like. So there's Instagram, and that you can see how that's kind of cut off, and you have to hit more to see the rest, right? and that's fine. I want to get people to click that more button and start engaging with it. And you can see all the different formats here. Oh, definitely want to change my call to action. So that's going to be right here. This is very important. So we're going to change this to shop now. And then let's make sure everything looks good. So order yours today, doesn't block cup holder. Shop now. Now we want to make sure it's correct because it's hard, once we get an ad approved and running, if you go back and change any of this text, it could actually, put the ad back into approval mode where it needs to get approved again. And I have seen ads that are working and we've made a slight text change actually not get approved the second time. And we have our pixel set up. All domains need to be associated with a pixel event. So that's fine again because the ad, because nobody's purchased it once I've installed the pixel. So once somebody actually purchases it and the pixel fires, this alert will go away. But all right, we can go ahead and publish this. We're ready to go. And that's going to send it to Facebook for approval. And fingers crossed, we get our ad approved. If it's not approved, Facebook is going to give us a warning of why the advertisement wasn't approved. Now, if you run an agency or you're just getting started, if you get to a certain level of spend, Facebook will actually start assigning you like your own personal representative of Facebook. But again, it's based on how many advertisements you've run, how many pages you manage, how much spend, what your spend been. So there's a pretty big threshold to get to where you're a Facebook partner. But once you get there, you can have a rep that if an ad doesn't get approved, you can send it to that rep and say, hey, I need some help getting this ad approved because I'm not sure why. But typically, if you read it, you make some changes, look at your wording, look at the the reason for it, you can typically get it approved. All right, good luck.